everyone. Excuse the hair, and well, this looks a bit wonky actually. Let me just try and sort that out. I think that's better. Right, so, okay, where are we at? I didn't make a video this weekend. I'm finding I'm not as in dire need to sort of express myself as much. And we've had a busy weekend as well, so apologies. So it's now 6 weeks and 3 and a bit days into recovery. Still eating intuitively, really. You know, I'm not sort of forcing myself to eat at all. I'm sort of getting up. If I'm doing a workout, so if I'm going to the gym or I'm doing a run, then I will definitely have a banana first or something. And then I eat straight away as soon as I get back. Otherwise, you know, I normally just walk Marley. So I get up, I go and walk Marley, and I'll come back. I'll have my breakfast straight away, head off to yoga and do whatever. You know, if it's 10:30 and it's not 12 o'clock, God forbid, and I'm hungry, then I'll just eat. And I'm just eating my normal lunches. If I'm still hungry afterwards, then I'll have some hummus and pita, or I'll have some rice cakes or whatever, and just kind of fill the hole. And I'm just trying to make myself more full and more satisfied. I cannot deny there isn't one point where I'm feeling, I'm always concentrating on making sure I get rid of the hunger. And actually I'm happier for it. This weekend was revolutionary because on Saturday I got up and do you know what, I really just didn't fancy doing yoga. So I said to my husband, do you fancy going for a cycle, knowing how much he loves that anyway. And we did, you know, quite a few miles actually, which was a bit naughty, but it wasn't something I felt, oh God, you know, I've got to burn more, I've got to burn more. It was different on my body. It wasn't like pounding the pavements on my runs and knowing, you know, that I've got there or whatever. My legs were jellified by the end, and actually I was pretty poor at it. Not poor at it, but in comparison to my husband, whereas running, I could outrun him 10-1, but cycling, not so much. It was decent, it was good fun, we had a good laugh, it was nice to go together, we kept it at a steady pace, we could have a conversation most of the way. I think he enjoyed it as well, so that was good, it sort of brings you together. And actually Saturday saw an old friend of mine, and I was really worried because I haven't seen her since I pretty much started the recovery. So I would have been in recovery for about a week and a half after that was the last time I saw her. So it's been over a month basically. And I was shitting myself. I mean, I had massive meltdown, even though I wasn't feeling bad that day about myself, you know, trying clothes on, things that would fit me before. Oh, it was just horrendous. You know, I ended up feeling like an absolute whale. It wasn't nice, but I did find something that I could wear, a pair of jeans that I'd only just recently bought as well, before the recovery. They still fit me. They were a size 10, and actually they weren't tight, you know, they were just as they are. You know, nice little pink jumper with it. We went and we had Nando's with the kids, and then we went bowling after. And actually, I said to my husband after our showers and stuff, I might have a glass of wine today. I haven't had a drink since New Year's Eve, bearing in mind this is now May. So that is a long time for me because, you know, I've always been somebody that works towards the weekend. You know, I'm always, you know, smashing all my exercise Monday to Friday because Saturday we're going out and I want to eat and drink, but don't tend to eat, just drink, and then feel absolutely dreadful and get really depressed. So one, I didn't want to drink because I don't want to be depressed. Two, I know it does mess with your menstrual cycle, drinking alcohol, especially binge drinking. And three, I don't know, it gives you a false sense of security when you when you drink alcohol towards food. You're more susceptible to eat more palatable things, more processed foods, for example, which in my restricted brain is not allowed. So this was going to be a testing time for me. We got to the bowling anyway, and this was after dinner, and I said to my friend, do you know what, I was going to have a glass of rosé. What do you think? And she said, oh, if you'd have said that, I wouldn't have got the coffee afterwards, after Nando's. And I said, well, you know, it's up to you. So I got a Zinfandel rosé, which I haven't had for, I cannot remember the last time I had a glass of Zinfandel rosé. Drunk it, and she had a sip of mine, and she was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to have a glass. And we all did. We all had a glass, and it was lovely, and I enjoyed it. We ended up going back to theirs, getting all their swimming costume and bits to come back to ours and get in the hot tub and play pool. Even though the weather wasn't great, it wasn't raining. We got another bottle of rosé. In fact, we got 2 bottles of rosé, and we got some pizza and garlic bread and stuff for the kids. And it ended up being a really lovely day. I won't deny, I had a couple of treats. You know, I had a bite of pizza, I had a bit of garlic bread, which didn't go down too well in hot yoga the next morning. I forgot completely that I avoid garlic because I do hot yoga all the time, or used to. And no one wants to be next to somebody stinking of garlic. That's just for anybody that likes their garlic. Yes, you do reek. You reek. Yeah, so I ended up having probably a bottle of wine on Saturday night, easily a bottle of wine. But then I stopped. And I had a couple of chips, I had a bit of pizza, I had a bit of garlic bread. Bearing in mind, we already had Nando's today, so it's not as if I haven't eaten. I didn't feel too bad. I did wobble a little bit when Anna and Reese left. I did say to my husband, oh, do you think I ate too much? He was like, no, not at all. And I was like, maybe you're right. And I went to bed and I woke up happy. I wasn't miserable. I wasn't hungover. Didn't even feel that drunk, to be honest. I didn't even feel a little bit tipsy. All the kids had an amazing night, an amazing weekend. Even my little one said it was one of the best days he'd had for ages. So everybody was in good spirit. And, you know, Sunday came, you know, I went to yoga. Yeah, we went and had a cycle to Hadley Park. Me and the boys did, just to get JJ out on the bike and that, and he loved it. He was slightly miserable that day, actually, because he was a bit tired. But we got back, and do you know what? I had a lovely barbecue, ate foods, had supper last night. I have got up this morning. I have done a 10K run. And I did it breathing in through my nose and out from my nose. So normally I breathe in through my nose and out from my mouth when I run. So, and I've always run like that, always. But I listened to something the other day with this guy who does a lot of training for endurance athletes. And if you breathe in and out of your nose when you're running, apparently your body naturally is at its pace, is at its natural pace. Like, for your fitness level, if you can breathe in and out of your nose for your entire run and cope with it, then naturally you have run to your body's ability. And I did. I ran the whole 10K, breathing in from my nose and out from my nose. It took me about 55 minutes. And there's some big hills, some really big hills in my run. And you know what? I felt fantastic. I got back. I've been buzzing my tits off ever since. But then running does do that for me. I don't know. I think potentially at the moment, I'm okay. I'm still getting, by the way, all weekend, the high fertility on the ovulation calculator. So that's still happening. Still haven't had a peak yet. So it's still detecting that I've got a higher level of estrogen, but no LH surge as of yet. I don't know. Will it happen? Will it not happen? My nipples have been incredibly sore all weekend. That is something, honestly, those of you that have had children in the past and have breastfed, it feels like that. They are so sensitive. I mean, they're not as bad today. They're still a little bit. They feel bruised, almost like when it's so cold outside and they go so erect and then they hurt. I woke myself up Sunday morning because I must have brushed past one with my duvet or something, and I woke up and I was like, ow, that bloody hurt. And they do hurt. They're very sensitive. They hurt a lot. And I'm wondering whether or not that's because of the estrogen. I mean, they do feel fuller. They feel bigger. That's one of the perks of recovery. Bigger boobs. Bigger boobs and a bigger bum. Definitely. Again, those of you that want to message me your story, or you want me to cover a particular topic that you think maybe I can answer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can safely say those of you that knew me privately or have known me privately know that my exercise addiction was a real thing, it still is a real thing, and it took over my life for many, many years, and it still is a very huge part of me. But instead of going for a run this morning and feeling as though, oh my God, I've got to do a certain amount, or oh my God, I've got to do it in a certain time, I've got to be at a certain pace, I've got to feel absolutely fucked when I get back, and then spend the whole day being angry and snappy and moody, I just enjoyed the run. The only shit part was the podcast I listened to was so boring about anorexia, which I love hearing. I don't love about hearing about it, but I'm intrigued about it because of my situation with anorexia and how I use exercise to purge or to mask my eating disorder. I don't feel worthy enough of eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc., or a set amount unless I've done a particular amount of exercise. That can't happen at the moment. Tomorrow, I've got a full rest day. Apart from walking Marley, I'm just going to be doing my work. And I've got to eat the same level as what I'm going to eat today, even though I've done a 10K run this morning. And I think it's about training your brain to know that it's okay to rest. It's okay to eat. Just eat when you're hungry and try and stop when you're full. When you're initially in recovery, because everything's new and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm allowed to eat this. Wow, it's been forever. You end up binging on things and that's okay. It's okay to have binges on things. Christ, I'm even go back last weekend, I binged the fuck out of medjool dates. Love a date. I could eat dates all day long. Well, after the 12th date, I'm thinking I'm going to have a bad toilet in the morning, and I think I did actually, but I binged on them. I didn't even think about the calories in them, and I know there's a lot of calories in dates. I just binged on them to the point where I ended up throwing them in the bin because I didn't want to binge on them anymore. And a part of me thought, am I relapsing? Am I restricting myself by throwing them in the bin? Well, no. I just had what I wanted from them. Didn't want to have them anymore. Now they're done. No one else is going to eat them in this house. They're going in the bin. And I was cool about that. I didn't then go upstairs and think, oh my God, the dates are in the bin. Should I go and get them out of the bin? Because that's just rank. But lo and behold, I have been there. I've done that. I've gone through the bin before, and I've thrown things in the bin that I would want to have. This was in the height of it, by the way. And I've gone back in that bin and got them. Not proud of it. Can't say I was unwell afterwards, because I wasn't. But it's happened. And it will happen, no doubt, in the future. I don't know. I'm not fully recovered, nowhere near it. Have I ovulated yet? No. I'm now 9 days past the Clomid last pill. They say that you should ovulate between 5 and 12 days after. So I'm creeping close to where I should be ovulating. I'm not out of the zone yet. I'm out of the comfort zone where it's not feasible that it will happen, but I'm certainly getting close. Still no period. But things are happening, 100%. My cervix was incredibly high all weekend, to the point where I couldn't even find it. It was that high up, which is a really good sign of high fertility. Haven't had any of the egg white cervical mucus or anything as yet, so I know that part hasn't happened. And if it has, then I've missed it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get started on my work now, so I'm going to leave you be for today. But feel free to give me a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you want to carry on with my story. If you've got a similar story or you want to talk to me privately, then you can get me on the show notes or whatever the notes is, the description, and it will give you my email account. Alright, bye.
We're always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time.